Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking all about new and upcoming makeup releases. So if you'd like to see what's recently come out and what's coming out soon and my thoughts on all of those things, just keep on watching. Before I get into the main part of the video, I just wanted to show you some new jewelry. Gnoce has kindly sent me some more jewelry, so I just wanted to show you those. And everything I show you will be linked below, and there should be a discount code that you can use as well if you wanted to buy any of this or anything else from their website. So they're kind of known for their charm bracelets, so I already had a few charms from them, and I've gotten a few new ones to show you. One is this Saturn charm. I thought that was really cute, and as someone who's interested in astrology and my own birth chart, Saturn features very heavily in my birth chart, so I thought it would be nice to have that. And the other two that are new this time are these other little stoppers. So there's this one here which has these beautiful little pink flowers with green leaves. It's very delicate. And then the other one is sort of similar, but it's has a feather motif on it. And I just really like the colors of that one. And I kind of like having the mixture of the more kind of dangly charms and the stopper style charms. So those are the new charms. I also got a new ring from them, which I really love. It has multicolored stones in it, and it's really colorful and fun while still being, I think, kind of demure enough to be quite delicate and understated in its own way. I also got a pair of earrings, which are really cool. So each side of the earring is different. So this one is more like a cuff, so it goes in like a stud, and then it has like a thing that goes around your ear there. So I think that's really neat. And then the other side is just this little stud with one little kind of flower on it. And I really enjoyed the kind of asymmetry of it, and I love the color. And I also got this necklace. So they have these zodiac necklaces, so kind of along the same lines of thought as getting the Saturn charm. I got this necklace. You can get any of the 12 signs. I got the Aquarius one. I'm not an Aquarius, but my moon is in Aquarius. And I just like the look of this design, and I thought it would be fun to just acknowledge my Aquarius moon in this necklace. So I'm really happy with all this jewelry. I just wanted to show you that, and all of it will be linked below. So let's get into the new and upcoming makeup releases. So the first one on my list is the Sisley Phyto Ombré Eclat liquid eyeshadow. So this is a new release from Sisley. It's a liquid eyeshadow in a little tube. I haven't bought any of these, and I'm not particularly interested in buying them anytime soon. I think they look pretty, but I don't use liquid eyeshadows all that often, yet I still have quite a number of them. I have all the shades of Lisa Eldridge's liquid Lurex, and while I enjoy them and I think they're very easy to work with, I still don't use them all that often. I also have the Hindash Boy Tears, which could be considered a liquid eyeshadow, and it's just not the type of formula that I tend to go to very often. So especially with the Sisley price tag, I'm just not particularly interested in those. It's something I'll keep in mind for the future. You never know what kind of a makeup bug is gonna hit you at any point. But for now, not particularly interested in those Sisley liquid eyeshadows, although I do really like the way those colors look. The next item is the Lawless Conceal the Deal Full Coverage Concealer. I was interested in this, kind of just curious to find out more when I first saw that this was a product that Lawless was coming out with, because I do enjoy the Conceal the Deal foundation from Lawless. That's one that when I first reviewed it, I wasn't super keen on it, but I found ways to wear it that I really enjoy. It's quite matte, and it's a very interesting formula because it's super thin, very like watery in texture. And I don't particularly like it on its own, but I do love to mix it with a glowier product, something like the Auric Glow Lust, to create a really nice kind of softly glowing foundation that still has a little touch of a matte sort of smoothing feel to it. And because that foundation is so high coverage, it's really nice to actually mix with other things because it'll bring down the coverage level a little bit but still leave plenty of coverage if that's what you're wanting. So I was interested in this concealer, but I've decided against it. I'm not really that into matte concealers. I feel that a lot of concealers that are available are matte, and so I have quite a few with that kind of matte or more natural finish. And when I'm looking for concealers that I'd actually be interested in adding into my collection, usually I'm thinking more along the lines of a dewy or a radiant, kind of more creamy style concealer. So I've decided to skip on that concealer. The next thing is the Clionadh X Emily Violet Marie Dragonfruit collection. So Clionadh Cosmetics is an independent brand. It's actually Canadian, which I love, and I love to support them. I think they're probably most known for their stained glass collection of shadows, which are these beautiful multi-chromes in a variety of different formulas and finishes. And I think that some of those types of formulas are included in this Dragonfruit collection, this collaboration. Now, I wasn't familiar with Emily Violet Marie before hearing of this collection. The palette looks very beautiful. The collection also has 2 highlighters. They're calling them fruit lighters, which I think are also multi-chrome, and it has a couple of multi-chrome nail polishes as well. For now, I've decided to skip on this whole collection. Although it looks beautiful, it's not necessarily the type of thing that I can really see myself wearing all that often. I'm not in an eyeshadow mood lately these days. I feel like I have so many eyeshadows. I have lots of colorful eyeshadows and shiny, sparkly eyeshadows that I really would like to just get more use out of those, rather than at this point adding in a new palette with those types of colors and finishes and textures. So although it looks really beautiful, I'll be skipping on that palette for now. Similarly with the highlighters, I just don't see myself using those as actual highlighters. And so the way I would use them would be on my eyes, and I just have enough eyeshadows that can kind of fill that purpose already. And the nail polishes I'm going to be skipping on as well. I have a lot of nail polishes, and I seem to never really get around to painting my nails anyway, so it wouldn't really make sense for me to get those. Now the next thing is the Nomad Cosmetics Paradise Islands Eye Palette. I've never tried anything from Nomad Cosmetics. I'm not planning to buy this palette, at least not at this point, but it looks so beautiful. This really caught my eye. I'm not too familiar with the Nomad brand, but I saw this palette come up on Instagram and I just thought it was absolutely stunning. If I were going to go for a colorful eyeshadow palette between the Clionadh and this one, I would go for this one because these colors just appeal to me more. There's something really striking about this palette. I think it's really stunning. So that's the kind of thing that I'll probably keep an eye out for, maybe a sale from Nomad Cosmetics. That might be the time that I would consider getting that palette, because it really does kind of speak to me. I think it's really beautiful, and I can envision doing lots of different things with that palette. Also in the realm of eyeshadows, Dior has come out with, I think, 5 new eyeshadow quints. They're called their velvet eyeshadows. These look very pretty. A lot of them to me kind of look all along the same lines as one another, but there's one that's kind of a blue, kind of a powdery blue theme with this beautiful kind of rosy taupe shadow. Here's Freddie, just jumped up on the table. A beautiful rosy taupe shadow in the middle. And for some reason, I'm just so drawn to that palette. I don't really like blue eyeshadow on myself. It's not a color that I go to. It's a color that I find really, really hard to wear on my eyes. But that palette just looks so beautiful. I don't think I will ever purchase it, but it's definitely the one out of those 5 new palettes that has really caught my eye. I'm not sure if those palettes are even available in Canada. Dior is really tricky. Often things that are released in the US and other countries by Dior just never come to Canada. There are a few palettes in the past that have been released that I've been really interested in, but they just don't come to Canada, and the Dior website doesn't ship to Canada. So that's a brand that's often quite tricky to get, but I don't really need any of those palettes anyway, so that's fine. Next thing is a drugstore release. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzers. These caught my eye because it's a pretty large range of bronzers. There are 8 shades, and the fair one looks promising in terms of what I can see from pictures online. I haven't seen this available in Canada yet. I'm not quite sure if it has been released in Canada yet or not, but this is something that I would keep an eye on. I'm kind of curious to try that formula, and that they have that range of 8 shades of bronzers is promising and intriguing to me. Another bronzer line that has come out is the Beauty Blender Bounce Magic Fit Creamy Bronzer and Highlighter Duo. So as far as I can tell, this is a duo where the bottom is a cream bronzer and then the top is a kind of like gel to powder highlighter. These looked very intriguing to me when I first saw them, very beautiful, but they have hyaluronic acid in them, so I won't be getting those. And this is going to be a theme that's going to run through the next several items in this list. Hyaluronic acid is just the trendy ingredient of right now, it seems, and everyone is bringing out products with hyaluronic acid in them. So in one way that's good. It makes it really easy for me to not buy things, which is always, you know, good for my budget, good for my wallet. But it can be disappointing too, because you can see a product and get really excited about it. And then when I find out that ingredient is in it, it's just an immediate no. I just know that my skin won't put up with that ingredient. The other thing about that ingredient being so popular though, is that it's usually really easy to find out if a product has it. Often it's one of the advertised qualities of the product. Even before you can get to ingredient lists, they'll often say that it's infused with hyaluronic acid or packed with hyaluronic acid. And so at least then I don't have to get my hopes up for too long before finding that out. So the next item in that kind of a category was the Westman Atelier Peau de Sante highlighter. So this is another shade of their Superloaded tinted highlighters. I actually have 2 shades of these highlighters already. I bought them long before I figured out the whole hyaluronic acid issue for myself. And this new shade is the same formula basically. So I decided to skip on that because of the ingredient. That was one that was a disappointment for me, because I do really like that formula. I like the way it looks on my skin, and I like the look of this new color. It's a peachy pink. It just looks really pretty, especially for spring and summer. I think it would be really nice, but I won't be getting that. Another item with that same issue, and one that's really a huge disappointment to me that I won't be able to try this out, is the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzers that are coming out. They're called Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Cream Bronzer. They also have hyaluronic acid in them, so I won't be trying them, but I was really curious about this formula. I love cream bronzers. It's something that I feel like I still have some room to add a couple into my collection. So if this didn't have hyaluronic acid in it, I would be all over it. Very, very curious about that one, but unfortunately I won't be trying that one out. Another one is a new addition to the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin line. This is the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. So this is basically the texture of a balm, but once you apply it to your face, it becomes a powder texture. So it's like a balm to powder, kind of for setting and blurring the skin. This looked very interesting to me as well, but unfortunately also has hyaluronic acid, so that's an easy pass for me. And then another one is from Jones Road, which is Bobbi Brown's brand. It's called What the Foundation Tinted Moisture Balm. Another one that looked interesting to me. I'm always interested in complexion products, and so I was curious about this one, but it also has hyaluronic acid in it. In case you don't know, hyaluronic acid breaks me out, so I can't use it on my skin, either in skincare or in makeup. I think I just have 2 more things that I wanted to talk about. One is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Chirosa 68 Brazilian Jasmine and Pink Dragonfruit Spray. So this is like a fragrance mist for your body. They've done this with previous releases. Basically, they come out with a body cream first, which has its own distinct scent, and then later on they'll bring out a fragrance mist with the same scent in it. This one, I actually got a deluxe sample of the cream, and I really enjoyed the cream. I really enjoyed the scent of it, but it's a very strong scent. So I can't imagine myself actually putting that cream just like straight as it is all over my body. It would be way too strong of a fragrance for me. But the way I've actually been enjoying using it is either just mixing in just a tiny little dollop of it with my regular unscented body lotion, and I get, you know, the right level of fragrance from it that I like. And then the other way that I've used it is actually kind of as a solid perfume. Like, it's really, really strongly fragranced. So sometimes I'll just take a little bit of it and just kind of blend it out on my wrist. Very sweet scent. So if you don't like really sweet scents, you might not like it. It's almost too sweet for me, but it's cut with this little bit of a kind of muskiness, and I really enjoy it. To me, it smells like very sweet strawberry jam with that little bit of musk underneath, and I think it's a really lovely scent. I don't think I'll be buying the body mist. Sometimes these scents don't transfer in the same way into other formulas, so although I like the scent in the form of the cream, I might not like the mist scent. And also I'm happy enough with the cream, and it's cost effective enough for me to just use a tiny little bit of the cream when I want to have that fragrance, that I don't personally, for me, see any need for the mist. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on that fragrance because I do think it's a really nice scent. And then last but definitely not least, Lisa Eldridge has finally announced when she's going to be releasing her new shade of her Elevated Glow highlighter. So she's formulated this new shade called Pink Glow, which is supposed to be a bit lighter, a little bit cooler toned than the currently existing lightest shade in her Elevated Glow highlighter range, which is Crystal Nebula. Crystal Nebula is, quite yellowy, quite warm, and a little bit deep for a lot of people with quite pale skin. So Pink Moon is going to be released on Lisa Eldridge's website at 4 p.m. UK time on Friday, May 6th. So if you're interested in that, set your timers. I'm definitely planning on buying that. Very, very excited. I love that Elevated Glow formula, and the Crystal Nebula shade is okay for me kind of in the summertime when my skin's a little bit more color to it. But when I'm at my palest, it's not really the ideal shade. So Pink Moon sounds like it's going to be perfect. She actually used it in a video recently. I'll try to link that below if I remember to, but she used it on a fair skin toned model and it looked really beautiful. And I believe in her newsletter where she announced the release date for this highlighter, I think she said she's also going to be sharing more about it in an upcoming YouTube video, presumably before it actually releases. So keep an eye out for that as well. Hopefully she'll have, some swatches, and I'm sure when the product goes up on the website, you'll be able to see a little bit more about the shade as well. And I think she said she's going to share, about the inspiration behind the shade, which is something that I always love hearing from Lisa Eldridge, whether it's her lipsticks or blushes or highlighters, whatever. She always has really interesting explanations and stories behind the shades that she's chosen. That's just another aspect of Lisa and her makeup that I really love and appreciate so much. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. I always love to see those. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would really love for you to do so. Thanks again so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.